Welcome to Tattoo Tabletop. My name is James, and today we are painting a blood claw from the Space Wolves army box that just came out. As you can see, I primed the model black and zenithaled with a white from my airbrush, and I did the same with my Battle Company leader, but we're going to start with Space Wolves Gray Contrast and Contrast Medium, specifically 1 part Space Wolves Gray Contrast to 2 parts Contrast Medium. Why are we doing this? Because we want this mixture to stay nice and thin. We want it to flow into the crevices and the cracks, but also we want this to still stay bright. We don't want to stain the armor much because in a later step, even though we're going to be going over with an acrylic, and a very nice acrylic, mind you, it's still beneficial to have this lighter undercoat, so then that way later it's gonna be easier for the acrylic to cover when it's thinned down. So we're just gonna proceed ahead and we're gonna cover with this mixture.
Here at Tattoo Tabletop, we have a lot of fun, so be sure to like, share, subscribe down below. It's completely free and it helps me out. Now back to the video.
So this is what it should look like at the end. As you can see, it hasn't shifted much in color. It's still very bright. But that's the point. So what we're going to do next is we're going to work on the leathers, and we're going to do snake bite leather. We're going to do this just straight up and thin it with just a little bit of water, but as you can see, I'm using my number 2 Monument hobby brush. Now, why are we using a smaller brush? Because once we cover the pistol pouch there, the pistol sling, I don't know why, I can't remember what that's called right now, and that's embarrassing, but we're going to need to get the belt. As you know, on Space Marines, the belts are really thin here, so by having a perfectly thin brush, we're able to just angle the model correctly and get right in there so that it's nice and clean. Now that we've done that, unfortunately, I missed this step because my camera decided to go lopsided, but you can see me correcting some of it right here. So what I did for this blood claw is I just used Imperial Fist Contrast. It's a pure pigment one, but you'll make sure you want to do that nice and thin so then that way it flows very nicely, but so you should get there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to want to get all the joints. So in this case, what we're going to want to use is Army Painter Grim Black. The Army Painter speed paints have been really growing on me. Admittedly, there might be a video in the future, but this one flows really nicely, and it also allows the raised areas to still pop out so that it creates that fun contrast feel while just using speed paint. So we're going to take our time and just use my number 2 Monument brush so that we can sneak our way through and get all the joints. And that's what that should look like once that is all done. Next, this is going to be the part that takes the most time. We're going to use Wolf Gray from the Army Painter. I'm not going to lie to you, this is the reason why I have really started to enjoy painting my Space Wolves, is because of Wolf Gray. Because, as you can see, once you thin it down and you get it nice and flowing and smooth, it is a fantastic opaque paint. I have wanted this color to actually have coverage for so long, and the Citadel equivalents and all the other equivalents just couldn't do it for me. So as you can see, I'm just going to make my way across. You're going to want to take your time with this. The thinned down mixture is going to make sure it goes nice and smooth, and because of that lighter undercoat, it's going to cover a lot easier, though if you need to, it can cover very nicely, provided that you handle the paint well. But I'm going to go through, get all the armor panels, and in some of the areas where it's darker, I'm going to use a little bit thinner mixture so then that way it creates a nice gradient. But we're going to cover all the armor panels on this Space Wolf, and we're going to get him nice and ready. So next we're going to do Blood Angel's Red Contrast. I'm just going to drop a little droplet of this, and this is mainly just going to be for the chainsword. I just want the chainsword to be red, so that's what I did. I grabbed Blood Angel's Contrast, ta-da! It is nice and red. We're not doing the eyes yet because we're not ready for those. So this is what we look like, and I also took just a matte black and I just covered the other shoulder pad because that's what I have for my chapter. Next, we're going to do the metallics. That's going to be 2 thin coats, Dragon's Gold, and Plate Mail Metal. Now, I love this gold, but I hate these bottles. Seriously, 2 thin coats, please figure this out. I think I've lost more of this gold paint to that crappy bottle design more than anything else. But I can't deny its results. It covers immaculately. So you're just going to use this to cover all the little bits that you want to be gold. In this case, I'm doing it on the chainsword's handle, on the top of the little wolf tail, the handle of the knife, anything that you want there. So that'll be nice and gold. And of course the plate metal to cover the teeth and everything else like that. So that'll have that done as well. Last but not least, we're going to use Fiery Vermilion from the Army Painter, and this is just for the eyes. So we're going to get our really, really thin brush, and we're just going to stage this real nicely, and hopefully we can get this in focus, and no. But this should give you the rough idea. Just take your time, nice and easy, just repeated strokes, thin it a little bit but not too much, and you should get a nice, clean appearance for your eyes. And this is the final result, and as you can see, I painted on some pack markings there. We're just using a generic acrylic. But let me know what you think down in the comments button below. Was this tutorial helpful? Do you like the way my Space Wolves look? Are you starting Space Wolves yourself? Let me know down in the comments, and as always, like, share, subscribe. But until next time, do me a favor and go paint something.